Today's guest is James Allen, the founder of Profit Your Knowledge. James works with business owners, coaches, and creators who want to build income that is automated, scaled, and not tied to working nonstop. I feel that one. His focus is simple: help people earn more while working less so they can get their time back and actually enjoy their lives. I also like that. What I respect about James, and we've already had a conversation on his podcast, it was back in April, I believe, that he did not start in the online space, focus on how to make a quick buck or sell the programs and all that stuff. He actually built his business by studying productivity systems, by leveraging his acquired knowledge and applying those principles to real offers to solve real problems. And that was what got me to want to jump on James's podcast in the first place. And we had a wonderful conversation, and now he is on mine. Through his business, Profit Your Knowledge, his podcast, his YouTube channel, and his training programs, he teaches people how to take what they already know into a digital product that sells without just constantly selling. In our conversation, we talk about health, energy, and focus, how that's super important to be able to then create this work-life balance. And because just working and working and working is literally just not fun. Well, welcome, James, to Driven for Health, episode 52. Excited to have you.
Yeah, dude, I'm super pumped to be here, and thanks for the introduction. And grateful that I get to be on your podcast now because I loved our episode. So
excellent. Now, I always like to open up with a zinger. Let's hook the audience, right? What's one piece of gold knowledge that you want the guys listening to the show to take away from our conversation?
That is one hell of an opener, Brian, I'll say.
I warned you beforehand.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Because there's so much that I can talk about,
course.
just in personal development and business and everything for so long. I guess as a guy, because men listen to this show, it's kind of naturally that we are the providers. And I'm not saying that's always the case. They're stay-at-home dads, which is totally cool.
They provide in their own likeness.
Totally. And I feel like a lot of guys here driven for health, and driven, it's like I always had the idea, because my parents were always working, that I was like, I want to be able to cover for my family if my girlfriend or wife wants to go pursue her passions and hobbies. I can cover it, and it's that's fine. I got the rent or the mortgage. I can cover food, right. Buy us trips and stuff like that, and be there for a family, because my parents were always working. And I don't have kids right now, but and I go back and forth with the idea of kids, but if I had kids,
I'd want four. The best advice I can give you real quick is 4 is a lot.
4 is a lot. Yeah. I don't know if I would ever do 4. 2 would be ideal, but you never know. You could have triplets or quadruplets. Right. Who knows? But anyway, being able to provide and be an icon for your family, and to be the leader of the household, right. And to other people, and to inspire the people around you. I'm a very fit individual, we're going to talk about health today, but I also pursue my business. And a lot of people around me are, dude, what? And I don't put myself on a pedestal by any means. I have things that I want to accomplish, but I set an example that you can do better in your life, and you can provide for the people you care. I provide, and me and my girlfriend, I pay the rent that we have, and I buy our groceries. We go on trips. I am the provider guy, which is what I wanted. It's given her an opportunity to start to pay off a bunch of debt that she has, or pursue other things that she cares about. So long story short, or answer short, I think that it's to be the best version of yourself, to provide and to set the example for your kids or your family. And I think that that's what really fulfills us as men, in my opinion. And I think that I just know that you can do it. And I hope by this conversation today that you feel more capable. If you're I don't know if I can do it, that you feel I can do it, or you get some nugget that can help you do it better.
Yeah, most definitely. You hit the nail on the head. That's Brian at his core. I'm a provider. I'm a go-getter. I'm a hustler. I'm going to do the things to make a great experience for my family and for the people that I impact and touch in my everyday. And that's what this whole podcast is about, driven for health. Let's be healthy, let's be fit, but also one of the reasons why I'm having you on is because we can do more. And we can do it in a more effective, efficient way. And that's what I'm about. Science-backed information applied in everyday life. And we even get into, say, business. There's science-backed business traits and characteristics and operating systems and such that we can implement to make life a lot easier. Let's jump into health. That was one of the easiest conversations I've had. Since we had our conversation, I've been on about 80 podcasts guesting and such, but I still remember us talking about working out and CrossFit and all this stuff. So how have you been taking care of yourself in the last couple of months?
Well, I mean, I wake up usually at 5 a.m. and I like waking up early. I was in construction work back in the day before I got into coaching.
So 4 or 5 a.m.
I get up at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I have to drive to San Francisco, which is like an hour away from where I live, and work all day, And then I would still go to the gym 5 days a week doing CrossFit. After I got back, I'd take a quick power nap and then go over to the gym.
Right. You needed it at that point.
Yeah. I was also like 22 or 21 back then. So now I'm 30 and yeah, man, I think that health has always been very, very important to me. And it's not even like health isn't just like fit or working out per se. It's also your mental health, which is huge, stress levels that you have. And there's a lot of determining factors like the career that you're in. I was stressed when I was in construction. Also, I was like not getting good sleep. I was working a ton.
Body aches and pains, right?
Yeah.
That's a workout in and of itself.
There's a lot to it, and like running my business and then exercising. I'm also in a band, and that's more of just like my hobby thing. Like we're not trying to make it big or anything, but like it's a commitment, still hanging out with my friends and everything too. Like I very much prioritize my health, but yeah, I wake up at 5 a.m. I go to the gym. I like to knock it out early because then I have the whole day open for if my friends message me and are like, hey, you want to go get dinner tonight or something or some spontaneous thing? It's like, I'm around. I could do it because I already got my workout on. I don't want to be a guy who's like, I still got to go work out, bro. Depending on the day though, or whatever, sometimes I'll go in the afternoon, but usually I'm a morning guy.
Yeah. Nice.
And yeah, like, I mean, I am the most fit that I've ever been. I'm in a gym. I do CrossFit and the gym I'm at, like the coaches are stellar. My friends are super fit. I just got I want to say 300, but it was 295 clean and jerk the other day. Yeah.
Oh, that's impressive.
Like, I should have put the extra 5 pounds on it because I probably could have got it.
Yeah. Someone should have snuck it in while you weren't looking.
Yeah, for real, dude. I was like, damn. But, like it's that I'm fast, I'm agile, I'm healthy, I take care of myself, I eat like well, and I have a good body composition and everything. And, yeah, it's just, but also it's like all that stuff is great, but also I think the stress is just as important, especially when you're trying to be this guy who is trying to provide and set the example that like you take care of yourself, you can accomplish things, you can be strong, you can be helping to people that you care about or your community or whatever it is. So yeah, the stress and like, that's why I care a lot about working and having like a business where I can work
right
in a way where it's like it's not tied to it, I like simplifying it, what you're doing. I'm a fan of striking the stump rather than just whacking at the branches, which a lot of people do. It's like spamming, sending 100 messages a day or whatever, and it's like, or you could make one YouTube video that you can repurpose and you get a lot more bang for your buck and leverage. Like there's ways that you can pause, set back and think about it. And for me, like I was just talking to someone about this the other day about how my best ideas and the big breakthroughs that I have never happen when I'm sitting behind my desk in execution mode.
No.
So they happen when I'm with my girlfriend at the beach and we're chilling, or when I'm going on a walk with my dog, or I'm just like driving. It's when I'm away from the desk.
Yeah.
And that, but so many people are just on this constant grind behind the desk.
Right.
And
or on their phones 24/7. And there's no
and
boredom in a sense. There's no space to even think.
and they get the best ideas when they are away. But so many people are just like in this, like, I need to grind like crazy. And the next thing you know, months or years go by and you're away from your family more, or you haven't gone on a date with your wife in freaking how long? You guys haven't had intimacy in forever. Like, that's a problem, you know, and all that affects health. So it's more full circle than just like fitness, though I think fitness is amazing. You know, even with CrossFit, like, if I'm about to do something that is hard, or I'm going to put myself out there in a community and like share something vulnerable about myself and like where my business is at or what I want to achieve or like whatever it is, like putting yourself out there is scary, but that's what's going to make you grow. But like when I'm doing CrossFit and I know that this workout's going to be freaking 30 minutes of pain because it's a long one, or like a full sprint like Fran, and it's going to tax my nervous system. It's going to be freaking hard. Like, I can psych myself out and go home, or the timer goes 3, 2, 1, and it's like,
and off you go.
Just do it. So it helps me mentally perform better in my business too. And that's why it's all really full circle. So that's kind of my take on health.
I love it. So we've got health in a multitude of ways. One, if someone's newly listening to the podcast, I actually own 2 CrossFit gyms. I actually coach a CrossFit world champion, Betsy Finley. Took her as just an average female in her 50s. We started personal training 55. At 60, I opened up my CrossFit gym. She joined in, and we said, we're going to do the CrossFit Open. It'll be fun. Just sign up. And the next thing you know, she placed first in the world at age 60. It's pretty wild. So I love CrossFit. And even if whatever you think or don't think about CrossFit, if you have a great coach, a great community, and you respect the boundaries and limits and the rules of engagement, so to speak, around CrossFit, it'll be perfectly fine for you. And then it's a very potent form of exercise. But we have all sorts of different things. And the main thing is that he lifts weights, that he challenges his cardiovascular system, that James puts himself in a position where he has to work hard. He has nothing else to do but this thing right here, which then equips him for the other challenges that everyone's life is going to give you anyways. You have my 4 kids during break. I just got done with break. All 4 kids are finally at school, and I have some bandwidth to do something with it. And so there's challenges, there's obstacles, and even in business. And we find a lot of people are grinding and they are not focusing on their health. And why, I guess, what is one tangible experience that you had with health that allowed you to perform better in your work or with coaching a client?
So something that from my health or like my fitness.
So I did this thing, or I'm taking care of myself, and as a result of example for me is yesterday I worked out and then I got onto a phone consult. I had plenty of energy, and guess what happened? It went favorably, and because I could exude energy because I just moved my body in a way that allowed for that, and I created space to stop all of this stuff and then just get back to Brian.
Yeah, you know, for me, I wouldn't say it's any like one thing, though I've had that same experience that you just mentioned numerous times. I'd say it's more of just the consistency, because what I see is there's a lot of guys, I'm sure people listening to this podcast are like, they understand the value of health, which is why they're listening to the podcast, but they're not really doing it. And it's the consistency of doing something. And you learn so much about yourself, because like even with your business, it's so like there's so much overlap with fitness. Brian, if I'm a new client and I'm 20 pounds overweight and I go to the gym 1 time every other month, like, am I ever going to get my goals? No. But if I'm in my business and I only, post a video once every like couple months, am I really going to grow something? No. It's the same exact thing. So I think that you see a lot of growth by being in the gym and being consistent, and you start to like, after 3 months or even a couple weeks, like you start to feel better and you start to see a bit more like tone around you, and you're like, oh wow, this is actually working. But you have to be consistent. And it's just like there's so much overlap between the consistency of showing up. in the gym and showing up in your business, and they both go hand in hand. To your point of like, I had a great workout, and then I did a consult and it turned into a freaking client because I felt great. It's the consistency of doing it, and it teaches you a lot more about what you're capable of, what you can do. The mental aspect of like, I know this is going to be hard, or I'm going to challenge myself, and like genuinely challenging yourself with weightlifting.
Yes. Yeah.
Push it. Don't just chill on the elliptical and not exert energy. Like in CrossFit, it's intense. You have to be intense. The more intensity you have, the better engine you get. The better workout you do. That spills into other things. When it's time to be intense, it's time to be intense in your business and like execute, or in your life. I think that it's just more of the compounding consistency over time. For me, like, if somebody's listening to this, like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But I'm still not really consistent with my workouts. I go to 24-hour fitness and I don't really know what to do or whatever. Like, I say, join a freaking class. It can be CrossFit, or it can be something else.
It can be a boot camp.
A boot camp.
Just get some organization.
Yes, because when you pay more to go to a class of some kind, like there's a place called Luma right around the corner from where I live, or CrossFit. You go into a CrossFit gym, you walk in, they have the programming done. They're like, this is what the agenda is for the day. And you freaking do it, and you're like, damn, that was with the coach, with the people pushing me, with the guy who's like less fit than me, doing better than me. Like, I want to push harder. Then you end up getting a really good freaking workout in that hour, and you didn't have to think. The hardest part was you just showing up. And then it just it simplifies everything. Like, be in a class of some kind, whether it's a boot camp or whatever. F45, that's like Mark Wahlberg's gym.
Yep, Orange Theory. There's a client, I have John, I've actually been working with for a while, but he's 61 right now. He's in the best shape of his life. And we decided a while ago that Orange Theory Fitness was down the road, and it was a good place for him. He lost 60 pounds with that, and part of our conversation, and then also the nutrition and all the other coaching and such that we had done. And he's, again, super fit in comparison. And I post about him somewhat regularly, and he's on my website, but you literally can tell the difference, and it's made a huge impact. Now, let's do the flip side of the coin. Now, we know when we work out, we feel better and we can do hard things, which is just life. What happens when you aren't taking as good care of yourself? How does that show up for you specifically, James? Is it your energy? Is it brain fog? Is it short patience? Just lack of habits? The business slows down? What do you see when that happens to you?
It's been a while since I've not been consistent, so I have to like think about it. But I do know that even if I don't work out for like a week, like I get sick or something, not to say like it's all peaches and rainbows when you exercise. Like, part of exercising is that sometimes you can get injured. Like, I go a little too hard in a workout in CrossFit, and like I kind of hurt my back a bit, or I really messed up my back last year or 2 years ago, because we were doing pausing back squats. I'm like, I'm a strong dude. I'm like one of the strongest people in my gym, and we were doing pausing back squats for 3 seconds at the bottom, and I did 315 for 3 reps. And
that's a load.
It freaking, and it felt fine in the moment. It was badass, but that literally messed up my back for a long time, where I couldn't even like really work out. Doing like cat cow yoga pose or whatever, like it hurt. And I was out of commission for a while. But yeah, it affects me where it makes me more irritable. I get stressed easier. The energy obviously is a big thing. I'd say the biggest things are like irritability or stress for me. Because when I'm exercising, like, that's also when I go to the gym in the morning, and it's like first thing in the morning, I'm with my friends, because I have my crew of people there in the morning class. But like, I don't have my phone. My phone's off to the side the whole time. I'm just in class, and I'm like with my people. And that's like my little temple that I have there. And I get to just like do my exercise, challenge myself, push myself. And it's like me time. And I think that's really important for someone like you with like 4 freaking kids, and then you're trying to run a business too. And then you're trying to be there for the family. My buddy has, we're going to a Warriors game tonight actually, but he has 5 kids living in his house, and it is chaos in his entire life. And today he's an incredibly fit dude. He's helped me level up in my fitness big. His name's Anthony. But we were talking about the Warriors game. We're like game plan and stuff. And he's like, dude, like, I just need to do more of this stuff to kind of like step away from like life. Cause when he's at the gym, he's usually coaching and like everything's work for him. So stepping away, I think is just like so important. And the gym time is a great place to do that. So like when you're in the gym, like be in the gym, be present. And that's something big that I've tried to do. Like when I'm in work hours, like be in work hours. When I'm in family and friends time, I literally have time blocks on my calendar. It looks chaotic, but it simplifies my life. When I'm in family and friends time, like I try and be in family and friends time.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's really big. So fitness helps me kind of stay focused better.
Right. Definitely. He schedules his workout. He goes around a group of people. He pushes himself while he's there. Side note about getting injured. People, if you do any exercise, there is a pay to play. It doesn't matter. Walking, you could roll your ankle when you're walking. Next thing you know, it swells up for a week. There's a pay to play in all areas of life. If you want to live and experience the life that you want to have, you have to pay some form of price, time, money, energy, and most definitely effort to develop the skills and the capacity to handle whatever it is that you want. So James and I both know that, being business owners, and I hope that you listening in know and understand it. So whether he got hurt in CrossFit or whatever, just want to throw that out the door. It doesn't matter.
Happen anything. Orange Theory, I'm sure people get hurt. They drop a dumbbell on their foot.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
whatever.
In personal training, my number one rule when I did that was don't hurt the client. And even though I went way out of my way, it's still something could have happened. It could have had a sore back or a knee or whatever. And it just is part of the exercise game that you sign up for when you do it. It is what it is. So we shifted a little bit into productivity, and it's where I want to start carrying this conversation so that the guys listening are driven. They do want to have a lifestyle that they can afford to spend and not work all the time. Same thing here. My family loves to travel. We're going to Machu Picchu in Peru, and then we're going to go fish for piranhas in the Amazon River. So fitting, since that's my last name. And I am very excited to go do that here in April. And I know that I'll have a season or stint of working a bit more focused. So that kind of basically a 2-week break around there and really check out and enjoy myself. You said we do some time chunks. What are some other productivity hacks or things that not only maybe you use yourself, but you talk about in your YouTube videos, your podcast, you've had conversations through the countless amount of guests that you've had with their expertise. And lastly, that you coach to your own clients and help prioritize for them.
Yeah. Two things. Time blocking is great. It's not for everybody though, but these two things are for anybody. The first one is getting very familiar with the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule.
Yes. Yep.
80-20 rule, timeless principle. It shows up in everything. I just cleaned out my my drawer, like my dresser with all my clothes, because I had my shirts were overflowing. And I literally, I even cleaned them all out, and I had this huge bag of them. And I'm like, thinking about the Pareto principle the whole time. Like the Pareto principle is that 80% of your results come from 20% of your effort.
Yes.
20%, and you know this, like with health and fitness.
You told it to me on one of your YouTube short clips yesterday, and I gave it a like. I was like, "Yep, this is it."
Thanks, dude. Yeah. But like, people think that it's all about fitness, but like, 20% of it is really fitness. 80% of the result is really from nutrition. So if you focus on that 20%, for a lot of people, it's like, I'm working out, I'm walking, I'm doing this stuff, but their nutrition's crap. It's like, if you just focus on nutrition, you probably get that awesome body composition or result that you're looking for. You probably use only 20% of the apps on your phone. You probably wear only 20% of the clothes inside of your wardrobe. That's the case for me. And even still, I'm still wearing 20%, even though I just gutted the thing. And I was like, I probably don't need this, but sentimental value, whatever.
Right.
So when you can understand that, like, okay, these are like the few things that are going to get me the best result in this area, then that's all I have to focus on. Yep. And that is going to help you know what to focus on. The next principle is going to help you actually like executing it. but this is so big because a lot of people, like, especially in business, you know, we're chasing doing all this stuff. For me, for example, prime example with business is I wanted to grow my business. I was doing the social media grind. I was sending 100 messages a day. I was posting every single day, coming up with something new every day. And it wasn't really paying off for me. But I was also posting on YouTube. I was doing my podcast. Like, I was doing everything. And then I did an 80-20 analysis and realized that, oh, my YouTube channel and my podcast bring in like the majority of the income. So I'm just going to double down on that because Instagram and social media isn't really doing much. So I lightly use them pretty much to find podcast guests or like nothing really like that. To podcasting and my email. And when the day that, or the year that I quit the social media stuff and doubled down on the long form stuff, because that's what was working for me, my business tripled and I made my first 6-figure year. It was like, holy crap, that worked because I focused on the 20%. So you can do the 20% analysis with your health, your wealth, and your relationships. Just keep it simple. And a great book to read is The One Thing by Gary Keller. And the whole book is structured really around this one question, which is, what is the one thing I can do that if I did this one thing, everything else would get easier or be totally unnecessary? One thing is like a big domino. It knocks over all these other little dominoes that you have. And if you could, like, for some people, they're walking, they're exercising, and for your health, you're like, if I just focus on my nutrition, that's the only thing I'm going to focus on. Let's see what happens, and do a 90-day test with that thing. But then ask it, like, what's the one thing I can do in my relationships that would make everything else easier or totally unnecessary? Maybe it's just listening to your spouse more. Maybe it's just incorporating one date
real
night
quick,
a
let's
week.
do a quick time out there. Make sure you're very clear on when listener mode has to be activated and you don't insert things. I do it all the time and I always go back on myself. I know I should not have said anything. I couldn't resist. It was like a layup. No, it wasn't, man. She came in there and swatted that thing out across the court. So just 100%. Listen. So I just want to throw that there. That's like 98% of what most guys need to do in their relationship.
Totally, dude. Like, just let them talk, do their thing, you know, like be there to listen to them and be a safe space for them and not fix it, which is so freaking hard as a guy. But that question, what's the one thing I can do? And I would challenge you to think about one thing that I'm going to focus on, New Year's resolution, whatever you want to do, but do like a 90-day test. 90 days, just try this out.
Yep.
It could be that maybe your nutrition's good. Maybe you are exercising, but a lot of people, if they just incorporate a simple like 30 to 45 minute walk every day, that ends up being the thing that sheds a ton of fat for them. Just adding a bit of walking and adding more steps.
Yep.
So I don't know what it is for you, but you probably know what it is, and just take a time to reflect that. So that's the first principle, is the 80-20
Real quick,
thing.
Before we get into the second one, I love that. Literally, that's what I always tell people is, what's the next best thing for you to do right now? Oh, this, that, da, da, da. You always have a choice and you can choose the next time to do better. So what is the next best thing for you to do in this situation that you are in? Love it.
Yeah. And I love that. What's the next best thing? And also think, if I do this one thing, is it going to knock over? Is it going to be like the big domino that's going to knock over the small dominoes? You know, if in business, a simple example too is like, if you are still going back and forth in emails to book a meeting, and then you have to manually go create a Zoom meeting and all that stuff, like that is not efficient. So a big domino for you is create a Calendly event or Acuity, where it's a scheduling tool. All you do is copy and paste a link. You've already set up your entire schedule based on when you're available, and then people can book times that work for them around your schedule. Now you just knocked over a huge domino, saved you time. So the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule, that's the first one. The second one is something called Parkinson's law. So Parkinson's law states that work expands to fill the time that you give it. Work expands to fill the time you give it. The best example is when you're in college or in school, and the professor says, hey, here's your assignment. You have 3 months to get this done. I'm going to take the whole freaking 3 months to do it, and probably finish it the last night at 12 a.m., you know,
cram
like
done.
Cramming to get it done. But if he's like, hey, here's your assignment, it's due next week, it's the same amount of work, somehow by the grace of God, you're going to get it done
Yep.
in a week. So if you give yourself a shorter time frame to do this thing, then you're going to get it done. So that, you know, that's why I like doing a 90-day test. Or a prime example of the Parkinson's law in my life is like, I love the idea, and people are like, how can you build a 6-figure business working 20 hours a week? And it's like, because I only give myself 20 hours.
Right.
I give myself 20 hours. So if you give yourself less time, you will get more done in that time, or you're going to trim away the things that aren't helping you actually get the thing done. Right. You're like, this isn't necessary. Another great book is Essentialism. I forgot the guy's name, Greg Hewitt or something. I don't know, but he, that book is awesome. Essentialism. And it's all about like trimming the fat, focusing on only what is truly essential, which again is that 80-20 rule. It's that 20% that's going to get you the best result. Give yourself a shorter time frame to get something done. And it can be like, I want to get this product launched. You could say, oh, I'll figure it out sometime. But if you say, I'm going to get it done by this time, and I need to get it done. I had to launch a product one time, and I had like a month to get, or even less. It was like 3 weeks to get it done, because I was speaking at a really big event where it was prime traffic. And I was like, I've been pushing this off for so long, but now I have to get it done because I have a huge opportunity. Right. Yep. And I got it done, and it started making sales right there. Right. So Parkinson's law, if there's a time frame that you can condense and make it real, then you're going to get the thing done way faster. And you know, that's like with your work when you have kids. Like, I don't have kids.
Kids force that on me.
Yeah, like you have to be intentional about like, what is my hour or my couple hours of time that I have? And when you're in that time, like you got to be focused on that 20% of like, this is the thing that I believe is going to actually get me the result. And then you learn from there and figure out what the thing really is. But like,
exactly.
Yeah, that's the way to think about it.
Biggest constraint is another way to phrase it too. That my coach has. What's the biggest constraint right now for you? And then we start working through, okay, and we go top down. For me, it's top of funnel. And for me, it's why I'm doing the podcast. And for me, it's why I'm posting. For me, it's why I'm becoming a better understanding of ads and all these other back end things so that I can create this top of funnel thing. And as soon as I figure it out, it's easy. This podcast, for example, super easy for me to jump on and do. We're doing a live stream right now for the podcast. It'll be released in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, depending on how fast I go, which I'm a fast mover. And so I will get a bunch more recorded and published. But that top of funnel is so important, especially going. So there'll be also times of effort. So James referenced going to the deadline that he had with big talk, the speaker situation. So he had to do an incredible amount of effort to get it done, but that's okay, because then if you do it right and you follow the 80-20 and all these things, then you have invested the time, energy, effort, money to be able to then fast forward yourself. So let's transition into some of the business stuff. So what can you bestow on us from the guy that's listening that might be in a 9-to-5, that might have some knowledge, right, of something that he's passionate about, that wants to exit so he can get some of this lifestyle thing that entrepreneurs do have, to the other end of the spectrum of the business owner that's been in it for a long time, and how do we leverage them as well so we can kind of transition and crescendo now.
Yeah, so both examples, you use the keyword there, which is leverage. Leverage is the key. And that's how I've been able to hit a 6-figure income in 20 hours a week. I know there's people who make more than me. I don't really care. That's what I've achieved.
James, what about the 4-hour work week? Tim Ferriss, it's all his fault. I read that, and then I was instantly hooked. Like, what do you mean? You can do this in 4 hours? Holy cow. And it's not really actually 4 hours, but it's the key to the kingdom that you have to figure out how to unlock. And it's not really necessarily going to be 4 hours unless you're heavily leveraged, but we digress there.
But leverage. It's so funny because I'm in a challenge right now, and they were talking about the 4-hour work week and like making an offer. And they were like, that is why the book didn't do so well, because it's like about time management. It did so well because it's called the 4-hour work week. So people said,
my attention.
I want that outcome. Yes. I'm going to buy it. Yeah. And it's so good. But Also, everybody who's read the 4 Hour Work Week, not everybody who's read it works a 4 Hour Work Week because of the book. Even though Tim Ferriss has been able to do it and he's giving you like a roadmap, but you still have the power in your hands where you have to do it. So anyway, that does kind of go back into what I'm saying here. Leverage is the key. If you're in a 9 to 5 and you got kids and you're like, I got this thing that I'm really passionate about, and maybe it's from your 9 to 5, you know, consulting people or working in a gym. Maybe you're like, I'm really freaking good at helping people get into shape. Then, but you also have to work a lot and do the stuff. You need leverage. 2 things for people starting out. That is like, if you just focus on this, you will create income, and it's warm traffic. So you can, you can reach out to your warm traffic, which are all your contacts, people who know you. That kind of like warm traffic just means people who know you, but you don't need to necessarily know them. You can reach out to the warm traffic you already have, which are like your phone contacts, your community, the people who like you, they genuinely know you and you know them probably. And you can create warm traffic, which is like content and growing your audience with content. But I will say the type of content you create is very important. If it were me and I were restarting in those shoes, I would make a huge list or whatever list I can of the people that I know. And I would decide on how I want to help people. If I'm a fitness coach and I'm working in CrossFit gyms and I'm like, I want to help people get into shape. Like, who's the guy? Is it like men, dads over 40 who want to lose 20 pounds or whatever it is? Amazing. And then start reaching out to those guys and just start conversations. And you don't pitch them. You just say, hey, do you know anybody who's like trying to get into shape, trying to lose weight? You know, it's like a dad. They want to feel stronger, better, make a better impact on their kids. And the guy's probably going to be like, yeah, that's me. Or they're going to say no, or I know someone, you know, but you're just putting out those feelers and making that a regular cadence. You don't have to send 100 messages a day. Even 10 a day can compound pretty quick. I had a client named Jason. So he's really good at futures trading, and he's actually an orchestral musician. He's a percussionist in an orchestra in Washington, D.C. Super cool because I'm a drummer too. And he does futures trading on the side, and he's made it like a really good side income as well. So he just started reaching out to people from his like orchestra stuff. And in literally two or 3 weeks, he made $8,000 just by reaching out to them. People who knew him. And he's like, hey, do you know anybody who wants to learn about futures trading and like make an extra income on the side? And they're like, yeah, I'm down. I want to check it out. They talked to him. He made him an offer that we put together, made $8,000, just like that.
That's awesome.
So that's one thing, is like the power of just reaching out to people that already know you is huge. The other piece is like you need more people that know you, but you don't necessarily need to know them.
Right.
And that's why I would recommend YouTube, because YouTube is the best marketing platform in the world. And it gives you that keyword leverage. Even if you're the business owner who's like, things are going really good, you know, we're running ads or whatever, like YouTube. Just go to YouTube, because everybody goes to YouTube for something. Whether it's fitness advice, I've gone there for plenty of it, and I've learned a lot.
YouTube has redecorated and recrafted my whole home. I'm very handy because of YouTube University.
It's huge, and there's every topic under the sun. It's the second biggest search engine in the world, next to Google, but Google owns YouTube. One of my videos that I posted 7 months ago just passed 100,000 views, and it's brought in like $2,000 something in AdSense alone, but like another $2,000 something from course sales that I have. And that's just, I haven't touched it. I mean, I've replied to some comments, you know, but like, I made that 7 months ago, and it's making me money still, and it keeps growing. So that's leverage right there. I built something once and it keeps working for me. I was able to go to Sweden earlier this year with my girlfriend and my mom. And while I was away, I made like, it was total about like just under $10,000 while I was gone.
Nice.
From digital product sales driven from YouTube with like affiliate marketing or courses and stuff, I made somewhere around like $3,000 something. And then the rest, a guy booked a call with me from one of my YouTube videos that I posted a while ago. And he was watching my channel, and he was already pre-sold on working with me. So we got on. It was pretty much just like, does this make sense? Is this a good fit?
Right.
Yeah, pretty much just a handshake deal. And then boom, we start, and that was Jason actually. And then he made $8,000 in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's a quick turnaround too, which is what you always want as a coach. I want somebody to lose weight relatively quickly. I feel a lot better
in a healthy way for sure with weight loss. But yeah,
of course.
And I know you do that, but yeah, like that's the key is leverage. So if you post like one good YouTube video a week and just keep doing it, like it's gonna take some practice, like and you're smart with it, where you move those people from getting to discover you. That's your top of funnel. They're typing in stuff on YouTube. How do I create an ebook in Canva? How do I like get more fit? How do I lose body fat or get a better body composition or whatever it is? They discover you, they build a relationship with you, and then you make an offer to them to like book a call with you or join your email list. And as you build this email list, like I have thousands of people on my email list, and something I'm incorporating in my business now is just reaching out to those people privately. I'm gonna have my VA start the conversation, but then I'm gonna carry it for the people who actually reply back. Because not everybody's gonna reply back, and that's okay. That's leverage. So that's, I think, the biggest thing. And even if you're running a business well right now, like incorporate YouTube. It is definitely different for them depending on the business, but like it could be time to create a mid-tier offer, like a community or a course or something. But if you're like just getting started, like what's that thing that you're passionate about, that you're good at? It could very well be tied to your current career. And you could teach people how to do that and they'd pay you money. And then, start making content, getting more eyeballs. Like I have people from YouTube who book calls with me, or they buy a program, or we chat, and they're like, I found you on YouTube on like Kajabi or this other thing. And I watched your videos.
Those videos.
They're like, I watched your videos. I watched a bunch of them, and I feel like I know you. And I'm like, I've never met you in my life. So that's warm traffic.
Yes.
You know? And then that starts a conversation. Know, like, and
trust. Yep. That's what the podcast here is for. If you're listening, I'm slowly winning you over.
And like Brian's awesome. Like wealth of knowledge, especially when it comes to like fitness, body composition, like all that stuff. I mean, even performance-based stuff too. Like it's awesome. So that's the thing you have to focus on. If you really are like, I'm crunched on time, YouTube is so powerful, or it could be a podcast as well. Long form, evergreen content, because long form content builds a relationship. If you're spending an hour listening to this podcast, you're building a relationship with Brian from listening to his episodes, but also me, because I'm talking so much. And then if you're like, that James guy was cool, or he said something cool, and you go to my YouTube channel and you watch 10 videos, like you're spending a lot of time with me, but it's not actually me, because it's like a clone of me. And that's why it creates leverage. And it's all relationship business when you're coaching people online, but anybody can do it.
Much so.
I interview people on my podcast who've monetized their knowledge in some way. Brian was on there, and he shared a story of how he monetized his knowledge around fitness and health. It was a great episode. One of my favorite episodes was this woman who was supporting her family, not making crazy money, but she was teaching people how to knit socks online.
That's awesome.
In a little course and community, and she's supporting her whole family. I'm like, dude, if she can teach people how to knit socks, like you can teach people how to get fit, or like start a business, or do whatever it is, get better with relationships, navigate a divorce. Like there's so many things. You get good at pickleball. I've helped people with, like, it's crazy. So anyway, that's my long tangent.
Excellent. So you've talked a couple of stories. Maybe give us one good story. I have a number of clients actually coming up. I think my next released episode, because these are already getting recorded, but Drake, he was a Grand Slam client. This guy came to me screaming high blood pressure, 270 pounds. He's 29 years old. And the doctor said, you're going on medicine ASAP. He's like, whoa. And this guy's a high performer. I mean, he was making $250K a year, and he was in a high C-suite position and all this stuff. But it was killing him. And he came in, and we got his nutrition, got his fitness, got him organized, got him some community. And this dude was a Grand Slam. He could literally text me today, and I just have a big smile on my face. Drake, what's up, man? And we've actually FaceTime since he had reached his goal and stuff, and you'll hear his story. if you go back to episode, it'll be 43 at this point, and then you can listen in and see how he did and what he did and what we did in this. So it was a grand slam, crazy amounts of life change. He got married, he quit his job, he literally sold his Mustang GT, Shelby GT, that he was cruising around in, and because he was an F-150 guy, and he bought an F-150 within a week of us talking about it, and he just felt so much better. It's just wild things. But for you, maybe give us a story to help inspire the new person, or maybe even blend into the business owner, say Brian, the overworked entrepreneur, solo juggling lots of kids. Tell us a story that creates some inspiration, and it's like, oh my gosh, I need to do something.
Yeah, couple. So one of them is this guy who, his name was Justin. So Justin Blackburn is his name. He is very successful now. But I met him. Funny enough, he reached out to me when he was trying to do some research for this new consulting business that he was starting. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'd love to help you out. So we sat on a little call, and he's asking me questions about like what I do in my business and stuff. And I'm just telling him what I do, helping people profit from their knowledge and stuff. And he's like, hold on. I'm kind of interested in this. And I was like, yeah, dude, if I can help you out, like whatever. And he's really good at sales, and he used to work for Sonny Lenarduzzi, who's like a really big YouTube creator.
Okay.
Runs a multi-7-figure online business. And she was like, he was a sales rep for her and one of the top salespeople. So he was kind of starting his own thing, helping like businesses with sales and stuff. And he was just like really lost with it. So I helped him structure this offer, and it was like $5,000. But we ended up getting him linked up with this company, and the company was helping guys like fix their marriage basically. And they were doing like $35,000 a month. So pretty solid.
Yeah. That's a pretty respectable.
It's respectable.
Income. Yeah.
But Justin, I helped him with this like offer that he created for them. And he went in there and started working with them, and he still works with this company today. He ended up, from his own experience, like I can't take all the credit for this, but I did help him structure the offer.
Teamwork. Yeah.
Get the
teamwork
thing.
Effort.
He helped that company go from $35,000 a month to having their first $1.2 million month.
That's incredible.
So it's not to like toot my horn and be like, I'm the best coach in the world or whatever, but like it just, I hope that inspires you to be, you are more valuable than you can even understand. I think that's the big takeaway there. Justin's problem, and where I was helpful for him, was encouraging him to even do it, because he thought about, this isn't worth it. Nobody's going to pay me. Dude makes stupid money now, like bonkers income. And he still works with this one company, and he pretty much just went through and like rebuilt their whole like sales
sequences and team and
the team, the sequence, like everything. So it's like you second guess the value that you have if it's teaching people pickleball or knitting socks or whatever it is. But in reality, like there are so many people that need that help. You just have to show up and get out there and like educate people. Like this is why I love YouTube, because people go to YouTube to learn things. They want to learn how to get lean or build strength or whatever it is. And there's strategy that goes behind this. But like, again, with that woman, if she can teach people how to knit socks, like you have something inside of you that is valuable, and people will pay you money for that. And that's why this is the coolest business in the world. And like, if you want to become a CrossFit athlete, or you want to get really good at basketball or whatever it is that we all know, like, and you know, like something that's makes sense to us, like hockey or whatever, you join a team, you hire a coach who knows more about the game or has more experience than you. And then they teach you things that helps you shortcut and collapse the timeline. And that's why this is so valuable. Brian knows so much about fitness. And if you're like, I'm stuck like his client, I can't lose this weight, you hire Brian. He helps you with the systems, the accountability and all that stuff. And you get the result way faster than if you try to do it on your own. So that's what I hope you get from Justin's story. Another person is Mercedes. So Mercedes was a journalist for 15 years, and she like had tons of friends and connections with like Business Insider and Forbes and that kind of stuff. And she wanted to start this business where she was helping entrepreneurs and business owners get featured in major media so they can grow their business. And she had limitations around her business or the career that she was in, where she couldn't really promote being this like publicist type of person while also working for this. So she had this like challenge of
conflict of interest.
Yeah. leaving her job was very scary. So she hired me. We're working together, and she's like, I feel like I need to leave my job. I was like, that's totally a personal decision. I'm not going to tell you, you need to do it. Like, but if you feel that it's right for you and, you know, like, go for it. If it's really a hindrance, and maybe it's time. She did it, quit her job. And in like three months or so, it was about 3 months realistically. She made $35,000 right out of the gate with this expertise that she had. Again, she was leveraging the warm network that she has. So it's like matching this thing that you have that's a skill that people would pay for. And like, you have to make that compelling, and people all too much make it too broad or vague. Like, I'll help you feel better. I'm like, what? Like, Brian, like, I'll help if you're over 40 and you need to lose weight because you're like past your testosterone starting to drop. Like, that's a huge challenge for people, and you can help them do that.
Overwhelmed with kids, juggling family, work responsibilities. Your belly hangs over your buckle now, and you don't want to ever take your shirt off. Totally. And you have a lot of responsibilities in your everyday life, but no time to actually deal with them for you.
Yeah, that's a huge problem that a lot of guys face, you know, and then they're trying to figure out how to solve that to make a better impression on their friends, their family, like their kids, you know, to be like, I don't want to be
just themselves when they look in the mirror and they're naked and they're like, okay, this actually looks good.
Yeah. No, it's huge. So like, it's about finding that thing that you are very good at that matches what people would actually pay for. And then just like creating content around that, reaching out to the people about it and solving the problem. Because when you get that person that you know you can help and you have somebody you know can help them, it's just like finding more of those people, and it takes work. But with YouTube and different tools, we can have leverage, and I think that's the biggest thing, and that's what I've been able to help my clients do. So I have more stories, but I'll leave it there.
Well, let's talk about as we start to wrap, but what is end up a general timeline? Because you've been doing this for quite a while. What would you say is the general timeline for someone to experience some of these transitions in from, say, the new person and then the more experienced? So for me and what I do, if I'm working with someone, my goal is in the Call to Rise program. It's a 100-day challenge. My goal is to get you to lose 20 plus pounds. I just had 3 guys graduate. They all lost 30 each, and they all did it subtly different, which is cool because they didn't all just do this cookie cutter thing. That's where a coach comes in, and you maximize the strengths and weaknesses of what this person can or can't do, or what their circumstances are, so that they thrive and they can be consistent at doing simple things like eating healthier food and moving their body and drinking water, getting sleep. Those are the basics of this, but moving them through, but if you have 50 pounds, let's do some quick math. That's going to take you 1 pound a week or maybe 2 pounds a week. So you're looking at 25 to 50 weeks worth of effort, and you might take this whole year, all of 2026, to realistically lose 50 pounds and have a lifestyle that is sustained, so you never ever have to do it again. And you have to just be okay with it taking a year. But also, if you average male is 76 and you make it there, when you're 40, you still have half your life to go. And it's worth the time invested in the effort and the energy to learn the skills and habits and behaviors and things that create this longevity for you, and to spend the rest of your life looking damn good. So for you, what's some time frames just to give people some perspective on some of these efforts? Because now you have created a lot of systems and processes that you are now being able to see the fruits of thy labor. And a lot of people don't necessarily see that per se in the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the short answer I would say is 3 to 6 months is where I see people getting really good results working with me. And that's like how long my programs usually are. Because I understand at this point that it takes about that long for people. That doesn't mean that like it's going to take 3 or 6 months for you to start seeing some income. See, the difference between what I do and what Brian does. Well, totally. I mean, you know, Justin, for example, 30-something thousand. And he already spent years developing that skill set. So that's the difference. And for you and me, what's different is that people pay for results, and that's not different. Everybody has something. You want to pay for, you don't pay for like, how many calls do I get and all that stuff. You pay for, I want this outcome. I want to be the 40-year-old who's freaking fit and you can see a 6-pack, or like I have good body composition, or I have lower A1C or whatever it is. But the thing with you is like, in order to get that result with the 50-pound person, like you can't rush it. Like you can do things to make it happen faster, but like if you do,
We
you'll
will
probably die.
shortcut it in a
you know?
sense, but yeah, but we're
But,
not. The silliest one thing, the silliest. Hey, you want to lose a bunch of weight? Cut your leg off. You'll lose a lot of weight real quick.
Right,
Not quite the outcome
totally.
you want.
Yeah. So for me, like I mean, you can tap into one audience, and then that can lead to like a huge, like $50,000 in a month or something. Like
Yes.
Mercedes, you know, she made 35 grand in like a couple months, which is awesome for like being very like pretty new to like actually doing the thing.
How long did she work in her career first?
15 years.
Okay, so she already had a strong, warm network that she was able to watch out for, and then go through. So yeah, totally. That makes a lot of sense. But then
there's also Jason, who like, he's a musician, and now he's teaching people how to trade futures, and he's nowhere on the footprint about being a futures expert, but he has the expertise. And in a couple weeks, he made $8,000, you know? But he, and quite frankly, he kind of backed off because he did well. And that was a mental shift that I told him. I was like, Jason, why did you stop? And he's like, well, I had a good result, you know? And I made my investment back or whatever. And I was just like, dude, like, don't stop, you know? So like 3 to 6 months is like the realistic time frame. And it just depends on where people are. If people already have like a really solid business and know exactly who they help, they have proof, they have testimonials and stuff like, and they want to start a YouTube channel, like those people can tend to grow way faster than someone who's like, I know nothing. I have barely even know who I want to help. I've never done any of this before. Like, that's totally different. And like, I wouldn't even say get into this if you've never done it before. Like people want to learn from experts. Like when you watch a YouTube video and you're trying to learn how to lose weight, like, is the dude fit? Is the guy you're learning from like fit and healthy?
Can he help other communicate the idea in an easy to understand way?
Totally. So yeah, there's a lot of factors into it. And to your point too, like I'm really big on skill sets. A 6-month coaching program, it doesn't mean it's going to take you 6 months or more to make money. We can make you money way faster in the first 30 to 60 days. But it's me teaching you about how to create content better. It's me teaching you about how to think about writing copy and landing pages and like all the skills that go under the marketing and stuff that are going to serve you well into your future. I'm just a big fan. And I imagine for you too, like I want you to be a more competent business owner, just like you want me to be a more competent individual when it comes to my health. Like I don't want you to rely on me to always be there to give you feedback, even though that's really valuable and helpful. It's like, I worked with James. He totally changed my life. I've had people be like, I didn't make money working with all these people. I hired James. He's the first coach I've ever worked with or actually made money. He's the best coach I've ever had. Like, and I've had,
makes you feel good too.
It's awesome. It's epic, you know? And like, that's a big reason why we do it. But, yeah, it results vary. It depends on effort for the person. The people who really commit and put themselves into it, they end up getting really good results. For me in, 3 to 6 months or even less.
Usually less, and then it compounds, but then you figure out other things that you need to learn and understand. And that's just the evolution of change, right? It's always, life's going to change and you better keep up with it or you will be left behind. You'll feel like you're 80 when you're 40 and it's like, what is this thing in my hand? Oh, it's a cell phone. What is it's not going to work very well for you. Well, let's wrap up. This has been awesome. James takes care of himself. And now because he takes care of himself, he can take care of other people. And that's really important. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're already missing the boat. You're not as productive at work. You're definitely not connected to your family or your kids. And even the very key thing that James started off with is showing up for those that are most important for you, and being that leader in health is a very strong first step. And that's why I wanted to bring James on. So how would you tie these together to wrap us up here? What are some parting advice, things to think about for the guys listening in?
I have a fortune cookie on my computer right now, and I don't have the cookie. I have the tag from the cookie.
Okay. The fortune.
But I was shocked when I opened it, and I was like, that is freaking awesome. And it says, a calm sea does not make a skilled sailor. And I think that that's like the coolest fortune cookie ever. Yes. Life gets freaking hard. There are days where you wake up and you don't want to show up and try and keep going in your business if you've had failed launches or everybody's saying no, or you just are like, I don't want to go work out today because it's freaking hard. Like, I get it, you know, and if you want to be that example for your family, for yourself, for the people you care about, and hold yourself to a higher standard, like, you have to understand that it's not going to be easy no matter what you do. You're going to have great days. You're going to have hard days. Charlie Chaplin said the best thing about bad days is that good days are right around the corner. So if you stay the course, you know, in the midst of a crazy ocean, eventually it's going to calm down, and then it's going to be nice and beautiful and calm as like glass, you know. And there's days like that, and there's days where it's hard. It's just about showing up every day. If it's worth it, if the juice is worth the squeeze, then don't stop. Just keep doing it. And I think that that's like the biggest thing I can give you. Excel in your health, in your relationships, in your career. That's what I want to see more of. Like, even before I got into this as a life coach, I was like, I want it to be normal, where you go into the grocery store and you bump into that person from high school, and like, you and them are fit, you're healthy, you're happy, you're in a relationship that you're proud of, you're doing a career or running a business or doing some kind of way of money that you make, and you enjoy it. You're not just doing it like going through the motions. Like, I really love my life, and I take care of myself, and I love the people in my life. And I think that I wish that that was normal, but unfortunately it's not. And the only way it's going to get there is if you go through the sea, and remember that a calm sea does not make a skilled sailor.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Where can we find you, James?
Yeah, just go to Google and type in Profit Your Knowledge, and I will pop up. If you guys want to learn more about, you know, kind of what I do, spend more time with me, that's where my YouTube channel is there. You can check out the blog, because I repost the YouTube videos on there on my website too. And if you are like, I really want to take this thing that I'm passionate about and turn it into an online business, we have a masterclass on the website too. It's going to walk you through how to create, like, if you want to create digital products specifically, you can go there, show you how to create a good product, create a sales system, and then how to drive traffic to it passively, and basically make this like beautiful little ecosystem, if you will. Yep. So you can get that at the website, or go to profityourknowledge.com/masterclass. And that's it.
That's it. Awesome. Well, James, thank you so much. He happily accepted, which was great. I'd been wearing on him as well. Every time I see him post in the Nita Guest Facebook group, they're like, this dude's awesome. Just throwing you a bone to make it easier for people to want to reach out to your show. I've been doing it for months.
Yep, you're the man.
But I appreciate our relationship and our conversation today, and I hope that the listeners did too. You can go check out James if you are interested in doing something beyond maybe what you do today, or to facilitate further opportunities for yourself by profiting from your knowledge. And if you want to hang out with Brian, I have the Call to Rise 100-Day Fat Loss Challenge, 20 plus pounds, money back guarantee. You're going to be working with me as you're at the helm, the leader. You got a brotherhood of guys that are going through it as well. A bunch of other similar situations that you are experiencing, and you guys will level up together with food, nutrition, your identity, your mindset. A lot of things are going to change just because you decided that you need to take better care of yourself. That's thecalltorise.com. Wrapping up with this episode 52. Thanks so much. See you in the next one. All right.